If you want to get started with helping your child earn NIL opportunities, then stay tuned because I'm going to share with you the very first steps you need to take to help set them up for success by building a strong personal brand on Instagram, which is going to open up opportunities for them to capitalize on their athletic talents. Now, over the past 2 years, I have had the pleasure of speaking to many sports moms, whether they contacted me for an NIL strategy call, or they attended my Sideline CEO course, or they simply sent me a DM on social media asking the same question. How do I get started with social media? And I pull from my own personal experience of building an Instagram following of 82,000 and a TikTok following of almost 11,000 to give them real world strategies, practical tips on how to use social media to build your child's influence and audience. So today I'm excited to share those 4 tips with you. Now, step 1 may honestly sound very juvenile, but they need to have their first and last name in their bio. I have come across many athletes that are using their nicknames in their bio, in their handle. And if you do a Google search of them, you would never be able to find their social profile because they're only going by their nickname. So the very first step that you need to do is to make sure your athlete has their first and last name in their Instagram profile. The next step is we want to make sure that the photo that they're using for their profile photo clearly shows their face. I've come across a few athletes that had different body parts. They've had a knee, a shoe, an image of their team. And if I did a Google search and they have a very popular name or a very similar or common name with some other people, then it's going to be hard to tell if that is your actual athlete. And so we want to make sure that in addition to having their first and last name, that they also have a very clear photo that shows their face. It can be in uniform, it can be in regular clothes, but we want to be able to recognize that this is your athlete when we go to the profile. Step 3. Now you can be a little bit creative with this one, but this is going to be where you actually start to tell a little bit about who your athlete is in their bio. So we want to make sure that your athlete has the position that they play, the class that they're going to graduate in, maybe a little slogan or a nickname or phrase that they use. Maybe it's a Bible verse. And we also want to include where you all are located. Now, underneath that is also a link where you all can put in a website of some sort. So if your athlete has merch that they're selling, this is where you can put that. If they have a huddle or they have some other form of recruiting website that you want people to go to, or maybe it's just even a great website that you've created as a sort of media kit for them, you want to put that in their bio. So again, let's run that back. You want to make sure that you have maybe the position that they play, the year they graduated, a name, a slogan, a slogan, some sort of phrase or Bible verse, so just a little bit about them. And then we want to point people to where you all are located and then whatever website link you feel would best represent your athlete if someone clicked on. Step 4, and this is going to be the one that I'm willing to bet that many of you do not know about. And it is make sure your athlete has a professional account. So I'm going to show you a screenshot of what it looks like to create a professional account. Instagram gives you 2 options to set up. You can have a creator account or a business account. I often recommend that people have a creator account. And what these professional accounts do for your athlete is they help your athlete to be able to see the behind the scenes analytics, insights, demographics, all of those cool metrics that we're going to use in the future to talk to brands or to just simply know how to strategize the content that you are going to create. And bonus tip, while I know that many of you feel a little bit nervous about putting your athlete out there, you've been shielding them from social media. I totally get it. I do not allow my son to get on Instagram or any social media other than YouTube as well. However, having a private account is not going to be helpful for your athlete. So if your athlete has a private account, I'm going to need you to switch it to public because the whole goal of this is for them to be seen. Now that you have the professional account, you have the professional bio, you have their first and last name, and you have a great photo, the next question is, what do we post on this profile? So in my next video, I'm going to share with you 5 types of content that you can create on your child's social media to begin growing their followers.